Welcome to the Unlocking Ability podcast. My name is Marie Devitt and I'm the Business Partnerships Manager in the Trinity Centre for People with Intellectual Disabilities in the School of Education, Trinity College, Dublin. In this podcast, I will be speaking to some of our TCPID graduates and their colleagues about their experiences of inclusive employment. Each episode will feature a different company, showcasing a wide variety of industries and of roles. These discussions will highlight the importance of true inclusion and belonging in the workplace and will showcase the profound impact upon everyone involved. Join us as we explore inclusive employment and listen to stories of real inclusion in action. I'm delighted to be here today with two amazing colleagues from Microsoft. We have Emma McGrath and Amanda Jolliffe. We're here today to talk about our amazing partnership with Microsoft and about all things inclusion. So,
thanks for having us. Looking forward to it.
Excited to be here.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for doing this. So I might start, Emma, by just asking you to maybe just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your background.
I'm Emma. I did the Trinity course in 2022 and graduated in 2024. February this year, and I really like it, and I met so many really good people and a really interesting subject, and also being in Trinity was so nice, and Trinity is so nice. Those being in town, and then made some really good friends, and now I'm in Microsoft with working in the Dreamspace, and I'm really happy, and I'm really interested.
Yeah. Amazing. Thanks so much, Emma. And Amanda, same to you then, maybe just to introduce yourself and your very varied background.
Oh God, how long do we have? So my name's Amanda Jolliffe. So I lead our Dreamspace program in Microsoft, which is our free STEM education program. We work with schools all across the country, across a variety of different things, like from visits to our campus to loads of programs that run out in schools across Ireland. So we have schools in all 32 counties engaging with us. So I've been in Microsoft since Dreamspace opened back in 2018, because my background is as a teacher. So obviously I went into a very niche role, and that was because of my background as a secondary school teacher. So I was teaching for 6 years out in a school before I took initially a career break to kind of go in and set up what we were going to do in Dreamspace. So, but it's expanded a lot since then. It's been great to see. So we have a big team now, including Emma, and and we can do amazing things because of the amazing people that work on the team.
Amazing. And can you tell me a little bit about, first of all, I suppose, how you heard about Dreamspace and why you decided to make that move from secondary teaching?
Yeah, it's a weird one. So I loved teaching. Like, I wasn't in any way looking to leave the school. I still love teaching. That's why I still do what I do. But I was kind of very interested in how, I suppose, technology can be used to support students in their learning in an engaging way. So just kind of making classes more enjoyable, more varied, kind of useful for all learners in my classroom. So I kind of had an interest in technology, and I was doing a lot of that in the school that I was in. And I got kind of a leadership post within that then. So I was kind of working away with that. That allowed me to kind of work more with colleagues in the school. So I was trying to help colleagues to use that effectively as a tool as well. That kind of, we were using a lot of Microsoft tools within that. And so I was kind of chatting to the team at Microsoft a lot, because they were kind of interested in what we were doing in our school, so that we could actually help other schools know. So it was kind of like sharing your best practices with other schools. And it was kind of through that I built up a relationship. And so it was kind of just mentioned to me, like,
they poached you.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was, that something was going to be coming up.
Yeah.
At the time, I was just thinking, like, sure, why not? I throw my hat and, like, throw it into the ring, see what happens. Again, wasn't looking to leave the school at all. But then when it comes up, you kind of think, well, I can always be back in my school.
Yes.
I can always go back to my school. I took a career break at the time, as I said. So it was always like a lovely safety net that my job was still in my school, but I could also go and try something new. So, So then, but I'm still there.
And how,
I haven't gone back.
Exactly.
But I definitely wouldn't rule it out either, because I love teaching and I love working with young people.
It's so clear from knowing you that that's your passion. Obvious.
Then I love seeing that stuff we're doing can help. And like, that's really important to us.
Amazing. And how does it compare? So you're dealing with new class groups multiple times a day, probably sometimes.
Yeah.
So how does it compare with working in Microsoft Dreamspace and your work, in the classroom in the school?
Yeah, it's different because obviously you get to, one of the things that I would say I always miss about a school is that I would have known the students very well, and obviously as you understand students and different characters, different abilities, you kind of customize yourself to work with them, and you get time to kind of do that. Whereas when we have a group, say, visit us, they're here for either 3 hours or a full day, and you have to kind of very quickly get the mood of the room and get to know the students, and it's a little bit more rapid. So that can be hard. Like I miss maybe not having that kind of like relationship, let's say, closer
continuity
relationship.
kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's lovely as well to see that in a shorter interaction, what you can get out of students. But with that, you do have to bring high energy.
Yes.
And as you guys know me, I am high energy, so that's okay. I don't mind that. Whereas in a school, like I would always have been an energetic and enthusiastic teacher, but there might have been days where I wasn't feeling great, and you'd be like, oh, just bear with me, guys. Like, my throat's sore or whatever. But when you're in Dreamspace, you can't say that. You just, because they're literally there for a few hours, you just have to put on a show. It's amazing the reach we've had. We announced there last week that we've had 500,000 students engage and take part in programs we've delivered, and that's like not YouTube views, that's like real lessons that they've done, which is massive. So to know we've reached that many students and that they have now had like maybe an informed kind of idea of what the world of STEM is and digital technology, that's amazing. Because for us, it's like they got to make a decision if they liked it or not. Like they might not have liked it, and that's fine. At least they got to try it.
Amazing.
So for us, that's huge. So you see that scale of impact, and so it kind of balances out the stuff you might miss when you're in school all the time.
And you're also a coach, isn't that right?
Yeah, Gaelic football. So I suppose that's my way of getting my PE teacher fixed back in, because I was a PE and science teacher. So I coached the adult ladies team in Garda Western Town Gales. That's where I played. And I'm helping out a little bit with Dublin under 16 girls as well at the moment. So very passionate about that as well, because again, very passionate about women in sport. I was obviously a sports person myself. And so like to try and give back in that way to my club that I played in. And just with the younger generation too, I think it's great to see like how you can help people grow in different ways, and sports one way people can grow as well.
It's fantastic. And Microsoft, we've been lucky enough to be a partner of Microsoft since 2024, and you have also had our students in for workshops as well, and that has been such an eye-opener, I suppose, for us, because again, that inclusivity of people of all backgrounds, and getting to really get a sense of STEM, and the inclusion in that sense of your amazing kind of program in Dreamspace.
What we try and focus on with your students and all the students is like different skills. So I think people hear Microsoft and they think, oh, we're looking at like Microsoft Word, and we're looking at PowerPoint, and we're looking at, maybe products, but that's not our focus in Dreamspace. Our focus is to like try and foster different skill sets that we can see are kind of important into the future. So we, like, as Emma knows, like it's a loud room, isn't it? Because we have people working in groups, and it's all about that collaboration and that problem solving and failing and trying again, and the creativity piece, so all those types of things. And so same with when we've had the students who are taking part in the Trinity program it's been like we have thrown them in the deep end. Like Emma was one of them when she came in with her class, and then obviously with the class this year, we give them the thing and we say like, you guys figure it out, and it's great to see them go through that process. And kind of, I think it gives people confidence in themselves too, because they see they can figure things out.
And we have the robot running around.
Indy.
Indy.
We're a fan of Indy.
Flying around the floor.
Exactly. And the fact that they've to figure that out, and okay, it's going that way, where do we put this? So I think that's really nice. It shows people that they have those skills, but also gives them a chance to practice those skills, because sometimes we don't get a chance to do that.
Exactly.
So
no, it's been amazing. Emma, just to go back to you quickly on why you decided to come to Trinity in 2022, isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I did a couple of PLCs when I left school, and then during COVID I was walking away, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I heard about the course, and I was nervous, but I was like, okay, do it and see how I go, because I didn't know whether I should continue walking or go back to college. But I'm so happy I did. I don't know where I will be now if I didn't do, like, I wasn't me and Michael up, or I did in ANL, got body a few weeks ago, so I am so grateful, even though I was so nervous to go back to college. I'm so thankful I did, because I don't know where I will be if I did it. So I'm so grateful for everyone in the TCPID Center, because you have all helped me out so much. So thank you.
Oh, Emma, I mean, we're the lucky ones that you decided to apply and to come on the programme. And I remember a beautiful thing was when you met with one of our other graduates to chat about it as well. One of our graduates, Stephen, and yourself and Stephen had a chat because you were kind of asking him questions. And I think that was very brave to take the leap to give up a job and come back to college. And we're so glad that you did. It's been...
I'm just so happy, because, like, being a part of the Dream Big team is so special. I met so many amazing people, and my team is so nice. So I'm so grateful I did.
Oh, it's so great. And what was your favourite part of being in Trinity College for those 2 years?
Getting to know people, my classmates, and learning different subjects, and all being in town, and Trinity is all that stunning campus. So I can't pick one memory. There were so many.
That's just so wonderful. And for me, the happiest memory is always the graduation day. That was special.
Graduation was so like, I'm like, now I can say I graduated from Trinity, and I'm so happy, because I did so well. I even surprised myself how well I did, so that was so good.
Oh, you were brilliant. And I remember you were interviewed by the Trinity communications team on the graduation day, and that video got more likes, I think, than any other video that year. I think, the video of the graduation with...
I told you need an agent next.
Because people, my friends outside from Trinity and Michael, they saw it, and I'm like,
viral, exactly. But it was just so fantastic. And was there things that you found difficult during the course? Because I remember you saying, about presentations and stuff. Oh no, and all of our students, they say, no, I can't be doing presentations. And you just were so fantastic.
Before I went to Trinity, I never did a presentation in my life. Well, probably they were not to that degree, and I was like, no, I'm never doing a presentation. And then I remember we had an event, Learning Without Limits, and I remember talking to a room full of people, and I'm like, 2 years ago I would never do them, but I think it got, because before Trinity I was lacking in confidence, and everyone who know me said I'm too hard on myself, but I'm so proud of myself that I've achieved so much, and and doing those things put me totally out of my comfort zone, but I'm so happy to do it. And that event, my family was there, and it was so special for them to see me do that. And
that was a huge event. I mean, there were so many people. I don't know if you were there, Amanda.
No.
There was so many people there for it.
I think before I did it was in October, so
Yeah.
it would be before I came to
Did the
my
placements.
Yeah.
But it would have been so nerve-wracking to do that. But the point is, you volunteered to do it, so it wasn't that you were forced. And for that bravery again to say, okay, I'm going to do this in front of so many people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're magnificent. I've seen the growth, in confidence all the time. But you are very hard on yourself.
Yeah, I know. Love.
Isn't that right?
Yeah,
Love my even my family. Yeah, like that. I don't want to do my best, and when I don't feel like I'm doing my best, I feel annoyed. Yeah.
Just take it from both of us that you are, surpassing everything that anyone, asked you to do. And so when you finished the course in Trinity, can you tell us about then what you did next?
Yeah, I did an internship in caring homes. I was working there on the HR team for 6 months, and then I started in doing space in October 2024.
Four.
Yeah. And then I finished in caring home in February 2025.
Yeah.
And then I'm still in Microsoft, and I'm so happy because I really enjoy it, and I've been in doing space and helping out in the sessions, and it's so interesting, and and I'm really liking that. And then I'm started an internship in ANL God Body 2 weeks ago, and it really got to see the different two really good companies, but so different, so really interesting. Yeah.
And just for the purpose of people, watching this, the reason that internship in A&L Goodbody came about is because you also did a panel discussion for me at our business partners meeting last year, and one of the people attending was just so blown away by you and by everything that you said, and she said to me, she worked in A&L Goodbody, and she said to me, "Oh, will you let me know when Emma's internship finishes in Microsoft, because we want her on our team." And so she's been checking in with me throughout the year, and then when we realised that we
weren't going to let her go, we're keeping you,
which is amazing that Microsoft is continuing. So we just agreed then that you'd do both at the same time, which is amazing. So you've literally just started there as well. But it's, again, completely 100% earned by you, and by you making that incredible first impression this time last year. Yeah, it is this time last year. It's amazing.
It goes so quick.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about what you actually do, your job in Dream Space? What would your kind of day-to-day role be?
I'm doing space administration intern. I do like and I help out in the sessions. I get tasks ready for the students. I get the laptop ready, and I do support the team in the sessions any way I can, and I do admin like Excel. I do posting out to schools.
Your role is so varied, and when
she's saying student scanning, and people are being just, but there's loads to that in our place, because we obviously are Microsoft.
Okay,
elaborate, because she's underselling herself.
She does all the time.
I do. No, but I don't. I know I do, Mom, but I don't know how to
explain it.
Yeah. You can.
No, well, you go through it. So we do it's more than scanning, isn't it? You have to go on. Yeah.
I do. I scan. I put it on the file and save it on the category. Say the other day there were form for the Microsoft had an event, so I scan into my email and then upload it and save it into a file.
So it has to be into a specific
Yeah, we have
category.
to-
And
yeah.
SharePoint.
SharePoint, yeah. So
SharePoint.
like again, people listen to SharePoint, but like
Yeah.
you know, an online storage. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. Like do you know,
Yeah.
like as I said, Emma's underselling like scans has to be uploaded, has
Yeah.
to be deleted then
Yeah.
because of the privacy side. It's
Absolutely.
in a lockdown account.
Yeah.
Then she
Yeah.
has to shred the actual paper
Yeah.
copies. It's
Yeah.
like so. There's a lot of steps
Yeah.
to follow. And
I know, but I don't know how to explain
Yeah,
it. Like,
that's only one thing. Is like
That's
you
one
said, there's a
thing.
lot more.
Yeah.
And I know you
good-
undersold the laptop updating, getting the laptops
Yeah,
ready. That's
yeah,
not
that's-
just giving someone a laptop. That's
No.
doing the updates and
setting them up.
setting them up.
Maybe
And
I don't understand.
And then what about? And then also all the stuff you've done on Canva first.
Oh yeah, I
oh yeah.
then I coined images for event to event in Dublin, but I coined images on Canva to promote the win.
That's amazing. And you do LinkedIn posts or social media posts, don't you, as well? LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. See, you do undersell.
Absolutely.
But it's quite a complex, quite a varied and very busy, I would say. It's always busy in Dream Space, isn't
Yeah.
it, Amanda?
Yeah, there's always groups in. There's always, and that could also change. Poor Emma, like sometimes we might have something, but we might have to say, Emma, sorry, you might have to leave that because we need you to do this
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
Emma's like, oh. So, but she's well able. I think one of the great things about Emma is, and you can kind of hear it here, is she always wants to learn more.
Yes.
Even the fact that Emma went and did the PLCs,
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
while, and then obviously came back. Like you like learning,
Yeah.
and I think that's such an amazing kind of value to have as
Yeah.
a person. Like because nowadays in the world of work, even like you have to always be learning, always upskilling, and Emma's also so capable. I like to put Emma through challenging tasks too
Yes.
because I know she can do them.
Yeah.
You're so capable, like just see how you get on. Once you put the right structures in place,
Exactly.
she flies it. And because she's willing to learn. And although she is hard on herself, how many times have we said that already? In some ways, not that that's a good value, but I think it's because she's striving to be good.
Yes.
Which
exactly.
is a great value. Not to be hard on yourself, but also it is amazing that you're so determined to be like, I want to do that well.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very,
Not
very
just
good
do
thing
it,
to
but
be.
do it really well. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think all those things stand to her, and that's why she's done so well in all the things she's gone on to do.
Amazing. You're so incredible at everything you do. But how do your colleagues in Microsoft support you with the work?
They are so supportive, and if I don't need help, I can ask questions. I try not to annoy them with too many questions, but they are so supportive, and and if I do need help, they are willing to take the time to help me.
It's kind of a
So, yeah.
small, really supportive team
Yeah.
in Dream Space.
Yeah.
So you're all kind of with each other all the time, which is lovely, I think.
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
live in each other's pockets. We
Yeah.
have to get on, but everyone loves having Emma working with us. And I think the nature of our team is like everyone works together. So it's not that Emma's only point of contact.
Yes.
Like even the last few weeks, it's been so busy. I haven't even been in there a lot. So, Emma's been working with Niamh. Emma's been working with Michael. Emma, Olivia. I make sure we call everyone out now. Corey before
Corey.
she went on her leave. So yeah. So like everyone works together, and
brilliant.
like it's that kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
We all row in behind each other.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes Emma is working on one thing, and then Niamh or someone might say, actually, Emma, can you do this for
I
me?
need you.
I need you
Yeah.
over here. So, which is great,
Amazing.
so it's also, I think that's important too.
Yeah.
I think that's helped, Emma, I think, because you have more people to kind of chat to and link in with. Like if you just had one person, if it was just me, that would be harder because I'm
Yeah.
not there all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think again for any,
To have the full
companies,
team.
yeah,
Yeah.
to have a team of
Yeah.
people around, because it helps everyone then. It
that's-
helps the people.
Exactly.
Like, it helps me and the team to have Emma, and then it helps Emma because she has more people that she can actually go up to and say, could you just explain that to me again?
Yeah.
Or could I see this? Or how do I get there? Or, so I think it's much, much better that way too.
Typically, we've asked for a company to have a mentor, but actually you definitely need the team
group.
mentorship as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I think, as you said, for everybody, that's just enriches the whole experience for everyone and gives you that feeling of kind of greater support as well, isn't it? Your initial contract was for 6 months when you started, and we were all fingers, toes crossed, whatever. And then it's been extended again, obviously. And how did that make you feel when it was extended?
So happy, because I remember I was in there and they were coming up and I was so nervous. I was like, please. And then when Amanda told me, I was so grateful and honored. And I know it's really hard to get in this dancing, so thank you so much for the people who made that happen. I'm so grateful.
You shouldn't be grateful. You're so
just
brilliant.
Say,
Yeah.
Like, we're grateful to have Emma and we're to have you. Sometimes processes in companies are a challenge or a blocker, and you need someone who's going to like try and maybe break those processes down and figure out, we'd never had an intern in Dreamspace before. So like, how do you do that? And we'll give Sinead a shout out.
Definitely. Thanks, Sinead.
In our HR team, because she was the one that kind of went and then figured out, right, how do I actually get this set up in our system? It was an entirely new system. And I think when you work in a bigger company, or obviously we're in a big corporation, that can be actually quite tricky. And a lot of people might shy away then from it. But the fact that, Sinead was able to go and kind of figure that out was huge. And we're grateful to have Emma. She doesn't have to be grateful to us because she's doing great work.
That's a really good point, that in a very large company, and, you can't get much larger than Microsoft really, but in a very large company, the people making the decisions may not know
the person.
They're not
even
you may not
here.
know Emma, but so it does take people battling for that to happen.
Absolutely,
and and yourself and Sinead were just amazing to make sure that it did get pushed through
and
within the
Joanne
time
as
frame.
well, our HR director, because to be able, like, it would have had to go all the way up and then come all the way back down. Do you get me? And it's not straightforward, but it, like that wasn't of Emma's concern really. Like, the thing was, everyone knew Emma's bringing such great value to our team, but to Microsoft all up. And it was like, we wanted to make sure we could make that happen.
As you said, not to let the barriers and the sort of the bureaucracy within every large company, not to let that be a stumbling block. Because you can absolutely make things happen if you've the right people being pushing through. So it's amazing. And going back to, I suppose, when we originally talked about, because you had just become a partner in 2024, and it was like, you jumped straight in and said, we'll take someone on a placement, and only a placement at that stage. But why then did you decide to offer an internship to Emma? You had her on the placement, which went supremely well, obviously.
So obviously we had Emma. It was a 12 weeks, isn't it, placement? So we had Emma for 6 weeks. And then you can maybe chat with you were with the communications team for 6 weeks as well. Emma did superbly well. We always say to people, it's a fast-paced environment, which it is. There's a lot of things happening. It might not be in the room itself with the groups every day. As I said, there's lots of other programs that are running. People can be frantic, So there's lots going on, and Emma slid into that quite nicely, even for a 6-week period. So did really, really well. So then when we were again with Sinead, obviously exploring, right, can we do more than a placement? Can we have a paid, internship for somebody? Myself and Sinead spoke, and like I said, we're definitely happy to have Emma back, because Emma was, as I said, as mentioned there, has all the right attributes for what I'd look for someone in our team. Really hardworking, wants to learn, always striving to be the best she can be. Like, their core attributes you'd want in anyone in the Dreamspace team. Like, our whole team have those attributes, and that's why they work with us. So Emma fitted into that mold really, really well. So it was a no-brainer then. Once Sinead and Joanne figured out all the that side of the house, which I was like, best of luck. I'll be here. So once they had that figured out, like, we were like, it's a no-brainer for Emma to come back into us, because we knew that she'd help us so much with all the different things we have to be juggling and dealing with in that fast-paced environment. And she's done that. So she's lived up to expectations.
Amazing.
That way,
We've kind of said it already, but what has she added to your team? I mean,
bringing that kind of work ethic and that positivity. Like, she's very and the willingness to just do things. It's really important to us that, as I said, people row in behind each other in our team, because there can be lots of different curveballs that happen across any given week or any given day. So to have someone say like, do you want me to help there? Do you want me to do something?
Yeah.
And Emma's always saying that, like, can I help you here? Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? I think that's huge. So she's bringing all that positive energy, all that willingness to help, and that kind of has ripple effects across the team.
Yeah,
because that helps everybody's mood. So when one person does that, it kind of lifts the team.
Yeah.
So I think Emma's been brilliant in that way. And I think it's also for me, like as Emma's manager, let's say on paper, it's helped me understand how to work with Emma and people as well. Because the way, obviously, I've had to support Emma is a little bit different to the way I might have to support other people on the team. Everyone on the team actually likes different ways of communication. It's interesting. As a manager, like I have to look across the team.
Yeah.
They like receiving information this way and they like... So, and Emma was no different. So I had to try and understand, okay, how does Emma work best? And try and wrap around that. So that's really valuable for me as
Brilliant.
well as a manager.
And actually, to build on that, what you just said, for the two of you, you've been using Microsoft Copilot within the internship scenario to help with the kind of the support and breaking down tasks. And could you maybe both tell me, because Emma, you gave a magnificent presentation for us last week about it to our business partners, but if you could maybe both tell me about how you use it.
I would caveat this with it's work in progress.
Right.
Yeah. So isn't it? Like
I agree.
Yeah. No, as in not that, like, as in we're trying to figure out, well, first of all, like I'm saying to Emma, does this help?
Yeah.
Like that's the really important thing. So like...
And this is why it's so useful for other people to hear this, because it's such a useful tool that's only starting to be developed within workplace situations. So,
and it's kind of, it's always growing now, I suppose. There's two ways of looking at this. There's for me as the manager, how was I using it? And then there's for then how myself and Emma are trying to look at how it can help Emma.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that the right amount of information is given to Emma for that.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just putting in, Emma went through this like prompting workshop the last day. So, when you use any sort of generative AI tool like ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini or whatever, that you would put in like the framework for the correct prompt to get the right output at the end. And so I was using it to try and make sure I got enough clear detail, but succinct enough, because as Emma would say herself, she doesn't like just like a paragraph of information. It needs to be a little bit more broken down, a bit clearer than that. So I was using it to help me pass on clear instructions.
Yes.
Because what I found was, one, it did it obviously quicker than I would have typed it out myself. Yeah. So obviously, because I'm juggling with loads of things, that saves me time. But also it actually included probably the levels of detail I probably would have forgotten, because I probably just would take for granted that if Emma has never used this tool before or done this task before, that I actually might have said this piece of information.
Yes.
Like sometimes I've given you things to do and I haven't given Emma enough information. And that's because I just assumed like, oh, and then you'd say to me, I forgot that you hadn't done that before, so I have to give it again. Whereas I found that when I used like Copilot, it would actually go into the level of detail that if a person hadn't done it before, they'd need. Yes. Whereas I might take that for granted. So I found as a manager and a mentor, that's really useful. And then with Emma, what we've been trying, and this is what we're kind of working on, is like generative AI is like any technology tool. And even when I was teaching, like I said, it was like, how is this a useful tool for learning? It's not the be all and end all, but there is ways of looking at it as a tool that can be useful. And so for myself and Emma, what we're trying to see is how can Emma use it to help her. And so maybe you can come in and what we've been looking at with that.
I definitely am on the way to you that you need to do, like I was saying last week in the meeting, you need to get the prompt right, and then when I do it, I think I can copy and paste it, but I don't like it because I know if I use that word, it won't be my one. So I like the idea, but I don't like copying and pasting because then I know me, I would take the easy way out and use it all, and that's not my voice. So I'm doing a PowerPoint in Microsoft on TCPID.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's our senior leadership
Amazing.
team. Yeah.
I look up some on our AI, but I didn't copy and paste it. I just took some idea because I know myself I won't use it all, and I look back because I like sometimes taking but but I don't. It really go for ideas, and if you can get the poem right, and then as a man that I don't like loads of text, I get overwhelmed. So there's a few bullet points is helpful for me. Yeah,
brilliant. And I think that's a really, really good point about not just copying and pasting, because AI is a wonderful tool, but it has to have you as, you have to adapt it to your own way of speaking and your own way of presenting and your own words.
And it could be wrong as well. You have to critically analyse it and stuff. And I think that's a really good point. I'm saying, like, using it as a scaffold. So to start you off, if you feel a bit stuck, or when you're trying to write something, you might have writer's block nearly of what do I begin with. It can help scaffold things really nicely, and then you can go from there, and then put things back in, get it summarised, Emma's done. Or obviously, if some people might need to get spell check or grammar check, you can put information back in and get it to do those things for you, which is really useful.
It's really useful. And I think there has been a fear, I think you'll agree, in the world that AI is going to take over all the jobs, and that there won't be jobs left for anyone because AI is doing it all. But actually, my experience, particularly of working with the two of you, is that it's actually going to enhance opportunities for people, because you can use it to help you with areas that you might find difficult, and whether that's kind of mental block about starting a task or putting together a presentation or the spelling. So it's actually, I think, something that's going to be very beneficial if used in the right way.
If used in the right way, definitely. Like, I think it's getting that balance of not letting it, as Emma said, do everything for you, because then you might not be using your own skill set, but working alongside it. One of our senior leaders, James O'Connor, was saying that's why Microsoft Copilot was co-pilot. So it's like,
as well as
it's the human and the tool together. I think the way Emma's explained it there for how she's looked at it is exactly the way everyone should. So let it help you, let it guide you, and then you can bring your own human side to it as well, which I do think that balance is so important. Personally, that's what I think. And obviously, like, in terms of assistive technologies, that was the whole point, where technology can help maybe a variety of people with disabilities, whether it be learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, visual impairments, where you can magnify things, that technology can actually help it be more inclusive for those people in their day lives, but also in their work lives.
And it kind of levels the playing field a lot as well. So it's a very, very valuable tool, I think. And, as a teacher yourself, I mean, do you feel that this is something that should be, the students should be taught how to use? Because there's a fear amongst teachers, and we're in the School of Education in Trinity ourselves, and there's a fear of people using it to do the assignments for them or whatever. But so do you think it's important to teach young people how to use it properly?
Yeah, so like what we're looking at, I suppose, from a Dream Space point of view, is how making sure students, first of all, especially younger students, because I think there's a balance here, like, we're all older. No offense to us. So I think we've developed certain skills. So we're able to bring those skills to the tool. Younger people are still learning a lot of skills. So there's a balance to be struck there. For us, it's about trying to make sure that young people actually know what happens behind the scenes of AI. So like understanding like data, algorithms, machine learning, what is it? So that, and the reason we do that is, once, I think when young people see that, and teachers, we're working with teachers on this, then they understand the importance of that analysis we do with the outputs that we get with generative AI, and then how we use it effectively. So it's like, for me, you have to do those foundational understandings before you can go and start using it properly and effectively. So I think that's important for schools. I think there is a fear, look, you can understand it. As a teacher, I can understand it. But I think it is about, like, also not, that can't have ostriches bury the head. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's happening. So I think it needs to be a case of, you need to work with your students on it. And there is lots of frameworks being brought in now as well around, universities have certain ones around, like, even actually levels they allow. Like, for this assignment, it's a level 0, which means no AI can be used. For this assignment, it's a 4, which means you can use it as much as you want to come up with ideas. You just have to reference it. So I think you'll see across the systems that's evolving now. But there is that balance, I think, because people are looking at the skill development of young people and the cognitive development for our very younger learners, let's say. So it's just about getting that balance right, I think. But it can be so powerful.
So powerful,
in terms of what I do. I do think from an assistive technology point of view, there's still probably not as much awareness around not just AI, I mean all up technology, what technology can do. I think that
for employers, say, who might be watching this and listening to this, how can they harness the power of AI and assistive technology to help maybe make their workplaces more inclusive and be able to support people with different abilities?
Yeah, like I think whatever operating systems you might be using or devices or things like that, because most, suite systems now have inbuilt tools. Your magnifier, your narrator, your read aloud, your dictate, like when you can speak. And so like there's so many tools there, and I just don't think a lot of people know about them that much. But I think a lot of, maybe not so much in the schools as much, but universities are looking at that universal design for learning, which is like that everyone actually knows about them, because they like, I actually watch a lot of videos with closed captions.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So like, and I think that's shown us that actually these, like having these options is not just for a person with a disability. So like having closed captions doesn't have to be people for hard of hearing or deaf. You know what I mean? It can be used by us all and benefit us all.
Exactly.
So I think that's an example too, where like those assistive tools can actually help us all like in different ways. I know a lot of people use dictate to like speak into their Microsoft Words and have it type it out as they're talking. They find it quicker than typing it.
In the same way as physical buildings have been adapted to, to be accessible and to be suitable for everybody, the technology now, it's about that awareness and about, I suppose, even with onboarding in new hires, to just have it available to everybody and to make sure everyone's aware of it, that they can use whatever tools they need. Isn't that right? Yeah.
And I think it's about learning. I think we said this in the presentation. It's about learning with your intern or your graduate, whoever's coming into you.
The learning what's best for them. So people learn in different way, and Amanda says so getting the right to put them or your intern or your graduate.
Everyone is so unique. Every single person in this world is so unique and has different kind of ways that they work better. And it's about having that conversation instead of, life would be so boring if everyone was just the same and doing it the same way.
Yeah.
There are tools to help make workplaces more inclusive, but maybe, Emma, I can ask you as well, why do you think it's so important for there to be real inclusive employment?
I think people are more, like, for me, example, I'm more capable than I think, and I maybe... It might take me a while to get there, but I will get there, and having different ways to go around it really helps me, because I might be slower, but I will get there, and I need ways around it. Yeah.
And it's about giving opportunities so that you can show that.
Yeah.
You can show your magnificent skills, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so important. And coming to you as well, Amanda, why is it so important across the board?
Yeah, like I think like it was actually this is our Emma's third appearance, because I couldn't make the partner meeting. I had to do a virtual video. But we did a thing with IBEC.
Yeah.
When was that? 2 weeks ago maybe?
Yeah.
I was saying Emma's very talented. So to think that talent hadn't come through the door.
Yes.
Like that's a horrible thing to think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
just that, because the opportunity wasn't there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like we've brought Emma into the team, therefore we've brought talent into our team.
Yeah.
We've brought someone with a different perspective. We've brought someone who, as I said earlier, works really hard, who brings all this positive energy. And it'd be horrible to think that we never had that, that Emma never came in and hasn't brought that to us and helped us all grow as well as individuals in our team. So I think there's so much wealth in terms of the talent Emma brings, but also and any of the graduates, any of the students who are doing the programme will bring to a company. And I think you get that. I think if anyone came to your business partners meeting and things like that, or the mentors meetings that you host, and I have to say, like, you are so good at supporting the businesses. Like, you're absolutely incredible, yourself and Emer, in terms of how you make sure everyone feels supported in that. Because I think that would also be a barrier if they didn't have that. So I think that's just to be commended, like how well you support them. But I think within those meetings, you see how positive people are about their experiences. And I think that shows you the value that everyone is getting from working with TCPID, for example. Yeah. It makes us better. It makes us more inclusive the more we work together as well, because we're like going, oh, actually, that isn't fit for purpose. No more than you said there about buildings having to be changed. Yeah. Unless you're working with the people, say it's for wheelchair users, unless you've worked with them, you don't know how to adapt to make sure that it actually suits and then they can actually thrive. Yeah. So I think that's probably the main thing.
And it's as well about kind of reflecting every member of society in every company and improving education as well, because the more diverse workplaces are, the more we realise what we have to teach in our schools and in our universities as well.
Yeah. And I think like Microsoft kind of wants to have a very inclusive hiring program and is really doing well to strive towards that and stuff. So like you have to live up to that. I'm sure Emma's inspired other students, like when your group from last year out to visit Dreamspace for their session.
Oh, and they were so wowed by you.
Go on. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah, it was so good to I have a lot done that session, and because it was like I was them a year earlier, and then like it is so good to like tell them about doing things, and I really enjoyed doing that session.
Our students were so amazed by you, and we came out on the way home, they were like, could I get a job in Microsoft maybe as well? Could I be like Emma? And it was just so inspiring for them to see you presenting as a staff member to their workshop. So,
and I just want to add, like, when I was younger, I was so limited because of my speed. I was like, I could never do that. But some people might not think I'm capable because of this, and I'm one of those people.
So honest. That's another value. That's another attribute.
I'm too honest, but that's a different way. But I'm more capable, and I'm starting to believe more in myself. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I think like that's like what I was saying about those your students coming, for Emma to be like the one that welcomed them to Dreamspace and say hello and then be helping in the session. That's huge for your students to see. Like Emma's like such an inspiration in that way, because sometimes it is just the confidence and the belief piece. Yeah. So you've probably instilled that in the students. They've gone like, well, she's doing it,
so I can do the same.
So I can do the same.
For them to see. Not just Emma, but to see other graduates, thriving in workplaces. Exactly. If you can see somebody doing the type of job that you would dream of, anything is possible, and you just have to work hard as you did, and be professional, and it's just to open up those opportunities. And Amanda, maybe if I could ask you, what would you say to companies who might be listening to this or watching this, and about how to get started, how to make that first step into, as I say, to hiring people of different abilities and making their workplaces more inclusive?
One of the things we mentioned about sending work your way, even at the IBEC panel, was to like even chat with you folks first of all about your program, which is so amazing because it does have that like pathway piece, which I think is huge. And because of the levels of support you offer, I think it can help people. So like what we said at the IBEC panel was to just have a conversation with you.
Brilliant.
Exactly. And then Marie's diary will be filling up. But like just have a conversation and to see, like we were saying, like you don't have to jump straight into like a placement.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
you could do like a visit.
Workshop
or
something.
workshop so we were like, it could like help people just get over that initial, if they have a bit of fear maybe, just to like chat and like, you know, because I think people, it's not that they're afraid to hire anyone with different abilities. I think it's more that they're unsure how to do it and they don't want to let anyone down.
Yes,
you know what I
absolutely,
mean.
yeah.
So I think that the fear might be that, whereas if they chat to you and see they can just do even a little thing just to see how they get on first, and might alleviate that fear, and then maybe they can move to placements, to internships, to full-time employment, which is obviously the goal, you know.
Exactly.
So I think that would be the first thing, and then I think finding your champions within your workplace, because again, depending on the size of the company or whatever, but for us, like there's no way I could have done like like this. That's, as I said, down to amazing people in our HR team, and then having such a senior leader as Joanne to kind of oversee that and drive that on too. So I think you need that executive sponsor, let's say, call them that or something.
And Joanne has been so supportive, like for many years.
Exactly.
You know, amazing.
Yeah, and I think you need that too, to kind of, if there is that processes piece to be figured out, you know, within your systems, where this might be a little bit of a new approach, and there might be a bit to it at the start, but just to kind of to push on and see what can be done. And you, I suppose, again, yourself and Emer and the team in TCPID are always so good at like, don't worry about that and take time there. And there's a lot of encouragement, a lot of support there, which I think really helps the companies. But I suppose the final thing I'd say is just to do it, because like, you know, again, you can see how amazing Emma is, how amazing like all your students are, the value it brings to us all. Do you know what I mean?
And not to wait till everything's perfect. Just, you know,
just go for it. Exactly. And like, you know, you have these great talented individuals coming in, teaching you a lot. As much as we teach Emma, she teaches us a lot too. Ultimately, it makes Ireland a better place, like, doesn't it? Like at the end of the day, like our societies are better. Do you know? And I think it's just such a worthwhile thing to make sure you approach and look at.
Amazing. And I'll come to you, Emma, for a few final questions as well as we wrap up. You've achieved so much already, and this is only the start. But what do your friends and your family think of the fact that you're now a Trinity College graduate and, you know, working in 2 jobs in Microsoft and A&L Goodbody?
They are so happy for me, and they are so supportive, and my family, and like all you have been so supportive, and it really makes me happy that they are so happy and proud, and it is so great.
And we're all so proud as well, you know, watching you grow and develop.
Having, like, even though with me, then they're making my team proud and doing based on the people in TCPID proud. They're the best feeling.
Oh, Emma, I can't. You're amazing.
She's
and
so good.
How do you think that you have changed since we first met you, before you started the course? How do you see that you've changed?
My confidence. I'm still sometimes lagging, but my confidence, because I would never have done the presentation on my own, or iPad, or even then. So my confidence, definitely.
And your belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Still
working on that, but I'm getting there.
We're getting there for sure.
And what to do that presentation last week,
on
to
your
stand
own.
up in front of all those people, and
amazing.
just hold the room, which I heard you did, which was no surprise. You know,
just amazing. And I think, you know, what really just made me so proud was that you were nervous to do it on your own, but you did it anyway. You did it anyway. There was no question that you weren't going to, and that made me so proud. So you're brilliant.
That's hearing feedback and everyone so happy and proud. It really motivates me and make me so grateful that loads of people are behind me and support me. I'm so happy.
Amazing. And final question then to you: what are your goals for your future?
Hopefully those keep working in Microsoft and ANL and then see how it goes, and hopefully, let's see how it goes. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Start a podcast.
start a podcast.
Maybe.
I feel like you're very comfortable in this setup now, Emily.
No.
Put that on the list.
Another amazing skill, but I can't thank you enough for being here today. It's been a magnificent conversation, and I know we could talk for hours more, but
We're all yappers.
you're all
Yeah.
yappers, yeah, exactly. But thank you both so much
Thank you
for everything.
having
Thanks,
us.
Marie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for our Unlocking Ability podcast. Please stay tuned for future episodes. And in the meantime, please check out our website at tcd.ie/TCPID.